Hello, my name is Jamarr Buchanan, and this is the Highest and Best Man podcast. Highest and Best Man is something I created and put together with a mission to help more Black men live lives of purpose. This podcast is a part of that, and as such, I'm using it to share some very real and personal stories about experiences that I've had in life that have shaped me and molded me into the man that I am today. This series is a conversation meant to encourage other people to take a moment to reflect on similar experiences that they may have had, or to be open in sharing their own experiences. This isn't a fairy tale or some hero's journey where a very likable protagonist overcomes obstacles that is in his path and ultimately succeeds and triumphs overall. It's a lot more complex than that. And before I get into that, I really want to share with you who I am and where I come from and why I'm doing this. So I'm the second child of a single parent named Evelyn Buchanan. I was born and raised with my older sister and two other siblings that my mom, while she did not give birth to them, she raises her own. And we were all born and raised in the south suburbs of Chicago in Dalton and Harvey, Illinois. I like to tell people, don't let that word suburb fool you about Dalton and Harvey, but that was where we all got started. Grew up there with my aunts and relatives, my mom, and went off to college eventually, where I played football, studied engineering, came back home, began working, went to some schools, yada yada, got married, yada yay, and began a life journey that I'm still on to this day, from those beginnings. At some point in 2019, it became my desire to create what ultimately became Highest and Best Man out of a desire and interest to have a positive impact within my own community. The way in which I thought that most possible would be in having an impact in something that I'd done, and I thought purpose was something that was very meaningful for me to uncover and work in, and so I began to explore that as an avenue to have the impact that I sought in the world. So fast forward to now, here we are with the podcast. As I said before, the purpose of Highest and Best Man is to just increase the number of Black men who are living in their life's purpose. I think that would be something that would potentially have a positive impact and great impact in our community. I believe purpose can have a meaningful impact in our community, for one, because it's something that we can do on our own and doesn't require anyone's outside help or input. And I think that's key in anything. I also think that I've seen it play out in my own life from times when I had purpose and focus on what it was I was meant to do and pursuing it with my all. And I've seen times in which that's gone away and the effect that that's had. And I've seen it in the lives of others as well. So for me, this is something that I desire to do to transform somewhat radically the way in which Black existence is showing up right now. And I may be right, I may be wrong, but I think that regardless of whether or not it can transform the entire culture and society of the Black diaspora, it is something that will impact and positively change the lives of some. And I think that in and of itself is worth the effort. That's the story, that's kind of the background, and that's the setting in which all of this is to take place. I'm sharing my journey to become my highest and best self for two reasons. To help other people learn the lessons that I've learned without having to go through the ups and downs of them, but to also create a space in which other people can do the same, where other like-minded Black men can open up, learn something, share something that they have learned, and they can find a community to support them in their development and growth. And so my goal in this is to create a community for us, by us, if you will, that reinforces what it is that we're ultimately positively trying to do for ourselves and our community and families at large. So that's where you're going to get a sense of as I go through these stories and start telling you the things that I've experienced and sharing with you. And again, I hope that it's just something that you find valuable, that you can share and enjoy. And I wish you well anyway. Thank you already in advance for taking the time to check out the podcast and the videos. Feel free, if there's any feedback that you want to leave, particularly constructive feedback, I'm definitely open to hearing that. So take care, and I really appreciate your time. Peace.